We are going to be talking about 3 different classes of lever using sporting and object examples throughout our presentation.
Levers are machines that help lift heavy things with minimal effort.
When a dog barks, it makes the noise arf, arf, arf. This is because dogs love levers. Arf could stand for axis, resistance and force, which we're going to explain more in the video.
The axis is known as the centre of the lever or the pivot point. In people, we'd regard this as the joint.
Resistance is what the lever system is attempting to move, cut, break or lift. It is counterbalanced by the force. In people and exercise, we could regard the resistance as the weights.
The primary and driving force behind the lever system is force. This is what makes the lever go into action and counterbalance the resistance. In people, the force would be muscles contracting.
Okay. Don't forget, in the body,
the axis is the joint,
the resistance is the weight,
and force is the muscle.
How to tell the difference between a class 1, 2 and 3 lever? Just remember arf.
If A is in the middle, it would be class 1.
If R is in the middle, it will be class 2.
And if F is in the middle, it would be class 3.
Class 1 levers.
As you can see, this is an example of a class 1 lever. As it is the class 1 lever, axis is in the middle. The resistance is on this side and the force is going to be on this side.
We are going to demonstrate. And that is a lever, a class 1 lever.
As we've already talked about an object example of a class 1 lever, we're now going to talk about a sporting example of a class 1 lever. In this example, the tomato sauce will be the resistance, your elbow will be the axis, and your tricep will be the force.
Class 2 levers. As we know, the way to differentiate different types of levers is by using arf. We have already looked at the class 1 lever, which is having A as the axis in the middle. Now we're going to look at class 2, which is having R in the middle. So this could be an example of a class 2 lever in an object-wise, as this would be the F, which is the force, the middle bit, which would be the rock, is the R, because it's the resistance, and the wheel is the A, which is the axis. I will now demonstrate. That is an example of a class 2 object lever. As we've already talked about a class 2 example of an object, we're going to talk about a class 2 example in a sport. So in my example, your whole body will be the resistance, which is R. As we know, it is ARF and R is in the middle, meaning the resistance, your body, will be in the middle. So the back of your leg, which is also known as the gastrocnemius, will be the F, which is the force. Your foot, specifically your toes, will be the axes. Okay, so I'm now going to demonstrate. May I just say that when you push down on your body, that is what causes the lever motion. Class 3 levers.
This is an example of a class 3 lever. As it's a class 3 lever, the force will be in the middle. This is the resistance, this is the force, and this is the axis. I'm now going to show you an example. You have to push down on the resistance, which makes a lever. As I've already talked about an object example of a class 3 lever, I am now going to talk about a sporting example of a class 3 lever. In this example, the resistance is the tomato sauce, the force is the bicep, and the axis is the elbow. You may think it is a class 1 lever, however, in the class 1 lever, I bring my arm down. You may also think it is a class 1 lever because it looks like the axis is in the middle. However, you must bring your bicep forward so the force is in the middle.
A lever is basically just a long stick that you push or pull against an axis to move something. A lever helps you move something quite heavy or make you do something a bit faster. The earliest levers develop naturally inside animals' bodies. Whenever you pick up something heavy, your elbow acts as the axis of the lever and your arm bone acts as the lever itself. Natural body levers first developed in fish around 440 million years ago.
A long time after that, maybe around 10 million years ago, some kinds of animals figured out how to use artificial levers to get work done. Sea otters, for example, used rocks to pry open seashells to get sea urchins. Orangutans used sticks to pry open pieces of spiny fruit to eat seeds inside. People have probably used levers as tools for at least 200,000 years, as long as there have been people on Earth.
As you have learnt lots in this video, hopefully, we're now going to do a quiz to test your knowledge. Okay, so as you're aware, an example of a first-class lever is a seesaw.
An example of a second-class lever is a wheelbarrow.
An example of a third-class lever is tweezers. Okay, so we have a bottle and a bottle opener. If I was to open the bottle, which would be the class of the lever? Would it be first class, second class, or third class? Take into account the resistance is in the middle. Okay.
Here I have some scissors. If A is in the middle, what class lever is this?
What type of lever is this? Consider that the force is in the middle. The answers! A bottle opener is in fact second class.
Scissors are in fact first class.
Nail clippers are in fact third class.
Bloopers! As I've already talked about the sporting example,
I am now going to give a demonstration of this. As you have learnt lots in this video, hopefully, we are now going to do
And now we're going to give a demonstration of a class 3, 2, 1 lever demonstration.
So that's the axes, and when I put the rock in, this will be the resistance.
Scissors! 2, 1, action.
Wait, what do I have to say again? Thank you for watching!